Hey everyone, this is Ruby with Crafting with the Queen, and today I'm so excited because I have learned how to do these folders finally. And I did a few for my grandkids and going to be sending these off to them. But with that said, um, I looked at a couple of videos regarding how to make this. And I have to say they were very good. They explained it very well, and I want to give a shout out to Angel B. I actually looked at her video. I did not buy her template, but I made my own template. It's very easy to do, but what I am going to say, if you don't want to make your own template, go to her website, go to her Etsy store, and purchase a template. And it's so easy to do, as she explained. I'm just going to show you a few, and then we're going to get right into the video on how I styled mine and how I did mine. This is one of the back to school folders, which we use Pen and Gear, and this is another one. These characters I did get off of Google. I'm not selling it. I'm just giving it away to my grandkids. This is another one for my granddaughter, and her name is Ruby. And this is another one for my other grandson, and his name is Onyx. So these, you can actually create them to your liking, to your style, or whatever your kids are into. You can definitely do that. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the video, and let's get started. This is the notebook that I created here, and we are going to be going into Canva to create the design. So I just want to put down below of the items you are going to need. Uh, you'll see it strolling down at the bottom. So you are going to need whatever notebooks that you find, but I have Pen and Gear. I got this from Walmart's. And you're also going to need, I do jewelry as well, so I had the wire cutters as well as the pliers. Paper, I actually found this at the dollar store maybe a couple of years ago. And so this is what I'm using. But you can also, Pen and Gear does have photo paper that I think is 50 in a pack. I'm not sure. But they do have photo paper. So I had some on hand. So I'm going to use what I have on hand. And that's what I used on the book that I created. You're also going to need some type of program, which I use Silhouette to actually print my design out in. And I also use Canva to actually design my item in. You're going to need a sublimation printer as well as sublimation paper. And you're going to need a cutter, whether you use your Cricut or you use your my Caesar cutter back there, my Romeo, whatever cutter you have available, you can actually use. You also need, the final thing you need is a heat press to press down on the actual picture. So with that said, we're actually going to get started. Before we get started, please go ahead. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not a member. Click on the notification bell so when I do upload new videos, you'll be notified when I do. Okay, so what I would suggest that you do is to go ahead and get that design. Again, you can go to Angel B to download that if you like, or you can actually scan it in your scanner, and you can do it that way. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, as you can see, I'm here in Canva. I'm going to go ahead and create my size on what I want for this. You actually going to change this to inches from pixel, and you're going to type in 8.1 by 11 inches. I already have this downloaded, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I mean. So I'm just going to type in 8.1 by 11. And the reason why I'm doing the 8.1 by 11, that is going to be the picture size. So that's what we're working on. It's the actual design of the picture for the front of the book. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Okay. And so what it's going to do is bringing it in. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is create a design in this particular area here. Let me just type in kids. Let's see what comes up. Nothing too much here. But they have different things for kids. That's it. I mean, it's just up to you how you want to design. But I'm just going to show you. This is a book cover here. You can actually, because they're going to be loose. This one is cute here. That one's cute. Let's see. Yeah, this is a pro. These are all pros here. Anything that you do not see a crown on is not a pro. We're gonna make this quick. Let me just make this quick. I'm taking too long in doing this. So let's see here. Let's do this one. I'm not gonna do too much to it, only because it's designed okay for me. And then once I clicked on that, it gives me more. This one is cute. I like this. Back to school. I like this better. So I'm going to delete this one. Deleted the background. So I want this one here. I like that. Okay. So this one just says back to school. Has the grid behind it. I'm going to take open registration out and maybe put the kid's name. So I'm just going to delete that part there. And say this is for, I'm going to say, I'm going to put them in caps, Onyx, because I do have a grandson named Onyx. I am going to go ahead and change the font on this. Just wanted to make sure I had it correct. So I'm going to take out, because he's a boy, I am going to take out the pink and change that to blue. Okay. And then the date on here, what I am going to do, I am going to remove the date. I don't know the school that he goes to, the name of the school he goes to. So if you like, you can put the name of the school that he goes, that your child goes to right there in that section. That's your, that would be up to you. But since I don't know it, I'm just going to delete it all. I just put his name and back to school. I think everything else is fine to me. And I'm going to go ahead and share. And I'm going to download. And I'm going to do this as a PNG. This one you will do in a PNG. Now I am going to go ahead and save this because yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save this. I have to think, forgive me, but I have to think. So give me just a moment. So basically, guys, what I'm going to do is go ahead and just save this download. It's going to come in as a transparent background. You don't have to check that if you don't want to. I'm going to go ahead and click download. And I am going to save it to my desktop. Now I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to upload it just to make sure. Design. So on my desktop top and open it up. And there it is. I'm going to add it to this page here just to see how it looks. I did nothing to, so it's 8 by 11 is what I want for this. 8 by 11, 1 by 11. So that is what I wanted this picture to be, an 8.1 by 11, the actual picture. Okay. And now I'm going to bring in, excuse me, add a page and just double checking the size here. Um, I wish Canva had where you can actually um, size your document right here and just type it in like um, Silhouette and Cricut does. Okay, 8.105. Here we go. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this up just to see how it's going to look. Okay, and so the reason I'm doing this, it's just going to cut off this is going to cut off some of this, which is okay with me. I just don't want the name cut off and back to school. So that's going to be great. It looks good. So now I am going to go ahead and go over to Silhouette. to print this out. I no longer need any of this here. I don't need this. So I'm just going to, the only one I'm using is this, which I size already. And I saved it and brought it back in. Okay. So the next step we're going to do, we're going to go over to Silhouette, and then we're going to print out the design. Okay, so now we're in Silhouette. If you do not have Silhouette software, you need to go over to Silhouette America and download this free software. You'll be able to do what I'm doing in Silhouette. So, what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring in that design that I did over to Silhouette. And you know what I'm doing? I'm using two computers. So I saved it on my desktop on my other computer. So give me a moment. Let me bring it over to my my Mac because I'm working on a Mac as well as a Windows computer as well. So let me do that. I apologize. Okay, let's try this again. I'm so sorry. Let me go to, we're going to work out a silhouette, and I'm going to click on File and then Merge, which you're not going to be able to see. It's going to bring it up for me. Let's do this here, back to school. We're going to go ahead and merge this in. Okay, it's going to come in bigger than what it should. So this is why we're going to go ahead and adjust. And I do apologize if you hear the airplanes in the background. We're going to click on this. It came in. See how wide it came in? So we need to adjust this. Remember, this particular picture is going to be 8. Um, it's going to be 8.1 in width, and we're going to do by 11. And it's going to bring it down for me. Now, we are going to be printing this off on a 8.5 by 14 sublimation paper. That is considered as a legal size, so that's what we're going to be printing this off on. Okay, and so you should be able to make your design. It will fit on this on that piece of paper. So we're going to go with this. It's going to be so simple. You are, because we're doing sublimation, you are going to need to flip your design horizontally. You need to mirror it. So once I print it out, which I'm using my 7710 converted sublimation printer to print this out on, we are going to go ahead and first of all, let me backtrack. I want to show you how this is going to look with the design, the template on it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. Let me merge and bring that design in here. It is, trust me, I don't keep anything, try to keep nothing too much on my computer because I don't want to use up my space. So I have uh, external drives on my computer. So I believe it's this one. Bring it in. No, it's not that one. I do need to delete some of these off. Let me delete that. Let me go back in. I will be deleting that one. PNG. It's a SVG, so I believe what's this one? Yeah, it's a SVG. And this should be, the size should be, this one's saying 8.0. This actually should be the size of the actual notebook. So we're going to change the size up here at the top. And we're going to go with an 8 by 10.5. That's the size they're giving me for this notebook. So that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to bring this over and bring it down. And it actually looks good. It actually looks good. Because my wording is actually not getting cut off. The hose it will not be in here. You don't want to cut off school or have a hole in the word school. So even though you see hangover, that's fine. So I'm just going to move that out the way. And we're going to go ahead and send this to the printer. Mine's is set up a little bit different than others. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on print, change my printer. I'm going to click on media quality, and I'm going to change this to photo matte. I'm going to use photo matte. I'm not going to use glossy, even though my paper is glossy. I'm just going to use photo matte, and it's going to be at the best. And my layout is what I need to flip horizontally. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that. Everything looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and click on print. And it's going to print it out for me, and I'll come back. Okay, I'm going to bring myself back in so you can see how it looks when it printed out. So this is how it looked when it printed out. Yes, it's a little faint in color because this is sublimation, but when you sublimate on something, the color does come in bright. Now the paper I am using is Honestly Speaking paper. I've had this paper for a while, and I'm just trying to use up all my paper that I purchased from her. But yes, this is the paper, and yes, it looks faint, but we're going to get ready to actually remove this from the paper itself. What I'm going to do is use my cutters to actually just to cut the end of this. I don't know if you can see it. My light is a little bit. Let's do it that way. We're going to cut the end of this here. If you can see that. I'm just going to cut the end so I can actually take it off. So I do need to lay it down to do that. So bear with me just a moment. And then I'm just going to put this up under the heat press just so it can activate the ink. I always do that. I guess I need to turn it on. And I'm using, what is it, machine I have? think it's the HTV, right? Let me turn this on. And I'm just, my heat press, I have it at, I believe, 390. And I press it for 50 seconds. So what I'm going to do is just take this off. I'm using my wire cutter. I'm just going to go in the groove and kind of cut it off. So it just cut it off for me. If you can see it, it cut it off for me. So I'm going to do the other end. You have to do both ends to actually get it off. Okay. That one's done. And then what you're going to do is just see how it's coming out. They're both coming out. I'm just winding it to take it out. Winding it to take it out. It'll take a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video while I completely get this out, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I've completely taken this out, and here's the cover here, which I no longer need. But if I were you, I would keep these because you may be able to use this for something else. You never know. And here's the paper. We're going to set this to the side because we're going to put our picture back onto that. I'm going to set this to the side. And now we're going to heat press the picture onto uh, the paper. So I got to get the paper together. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. This is the paper I'm using. And I think you can use any photo paper. I would suggest get the glossy because I think the glossy looks better. And take this out. Okay. So it looks like this. You can see it's a little glossy here. And so I kind of dried the ink on this a little bit. And we're just going to set this on top. Actually, I'm doing the wrong thing. Forgive me. We got to cut this out. We got to put this on the cutter. I'm missing steps. Forgive me. The next step is you need to go ahead and cut this out on your Cricut or whatever cutter you're going to be using. I'm actually moving faster than I should be. I'm going to turn this heat press off because it does get hot in this little room. And so I'm going to get my standard mat to cut this out on. So I am going to minimize this, and I'm going to get up Cricut Design Space to actually cut this out. So I'll be right back with you. I'm just going to pause this for a moment and I'll be back to get Cricut Design Space up. Okay, so we are now, I'm using Cricut, as I stated before. I'm going to be using Cricut to actually cut this out. I apologize that I was jumping the gun. I forgot I needed to cut this out. So what I did was brought this over into Cricut. And just remember, you can use any cutting device that you want to cut this out in. You just bring the software over to that particular software you're using. You bring the design over to the software that you're using. So as I stated, I'm using Cricut. So what I'm going to do, I've already sized it. Make sure you check the sizing before you cut it out. It should be 8 inches wide by 10.5 inches in height. Whatever your book states the size is, that's what you go by in cutting this out so that your holes will line up. I'm going to go ahead and click on Make It. And actually it has my Explore. Let me change this to, I don't want Explore. I want to send it to my maker. So I'm going to cancel this because I want to send this to my maker. Let me change it to make it 3. I'm going to click the mat, and it's going to be 12 by 12 mat I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. And you do not mirror this. You do not mirror this. And this is how it's going to look. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because I don't want it up to the top and over a little bit. But this is how it should look. Holes look good. And I am going to go ahead and go over to the table so I can put this on the mat and you'll be able to see what I'm doing before I hit continue. Or I can hit continue. It'll just blink. I'll just go ahead and hit continue, and you'll see it when I put it in. Hit continue. Now it's going to bring up what settings I'm going to use. I am going to use the setting for cardstock. As soon as I get there. Medium cardstock is what I'm going to choose. And I'm just going to go ahead once it gives me that option. Come on. Okay, so my machine, I just gotta go and push go on the machine. Okay, so I kind of missed this step yesterday, so I had to redo this video, just being open and honest here. We are going to lay this down on this mat. This is a make it mat, and kind of get it even as possible to the top. And this is how it should be. I'm using a 12 by 12 mat, and so this is how it should be. I am going to go ahead and send it to the Cricut machine so it can cut it out, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the machine, and I'm going to press show you the button here is blinking, so I'm going to press this button here. I have my fine cutter inside there. It's on fine, that's what I'm using. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and press go, and it's going to go ahead and cut it out. And just remember, you put the shiny side up for the paper. We are going to let this go ahead and cut out, and we'll come back. Okay, so it has cut out, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the printer, out of the cutter. Normally I would check to make sure it cut out, but it has. I can see that. So we're going to go over to the table and pull this off so you can see. Okay, so now you can see that I did pull it out right here. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit so you can see the table. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off of this mat. Just going to flip it upside down and just pull my mat back, pulling this back as well. Comes right off really fast. Okay, just put this to the side here. Okay, so cut out very good. So the next thing we need to do is prepare this for the picture. I had to print out another picture because I forgot this. Well, actually I did this step yesterday, and for some reason my camera was not running and I did not realize it. So we're going to get this set. I'm going to bring up some butcher paper so I can prepare this and line this up on top. I'm going to make sure I'm putting it on the right side where it should, the way it should go. Okay, yeah, that's right. So I'm going to start from the bottom because I do want the bottom to show and line up this. And then I'm just going to put some tape on this. So if you have some heat tape, use your heat tape to put this down on. I'm just going to take a couple of pieces to this. And I'm going to flip this over because I want to tape this on top of this butcher paper. But I put a piece on the bottom so it can hold for me. So, do it like that. Now you do it the way you want to, but this is how I do mine. It's just to hold it down. And I'm going to take this over to the heat press. Okay, as you can see, I have it at the heat press. I am using, honestly speaking, paper, which it does not bleed. So I don't ever put anything up under it. If I was using a sub, yes, I would put a piece of paper on top of it. But her paper does not bleed through. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and do this for 390. Let's see if you can see that. Let me bring it closer so you can see. Is that 390 for 50 seconds is what I'm going to do this for. Everything is down. I'm going to go ahead and push it in so it can do what it do. And we'll come back once it's done. I am going to let it cool off before I take off the paper, the sublimation paper from the photo paper. So we'll be back. Okay, so I had to get an older folder to take this off because I've used all the new ones that I purchased, but I still had some ones, older ones that I was using. And this one is, hopefully it fits. I should have measured this as well. Let's see. What did I do with that paper? I actually, I'm second guessing myself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull this off. Turned out really good. And turn this over. And this is how it looks. Now, I can see that I should have brought it down a little bit more. I should have brought it down a little bit more because you can see the white. And over on this side as well. But we're going to work with this. This is just for demonstration purposes. I just took an old folder that I had. And it is the same size. It's not even pen and gear. I don't see where it says pen and gear on this. Or is it? No, this one doesn't say pen and gear, but it seems like they're all the same size. And I am going to go ahead and try to put the, actually it's not the same size. So this folder that I have is actually not the same size, because you can tell on the back the holes are a little bit different. But I was trying to show you how this should be going in. And the pen and gear one, you can see the holes are totally different. They look like a oval shape a little bit, whereas this folder that I have, the holes are different, which is rounder. But let's see if it's gonna work. I don't know, but hey, I'm gonna try it and try to line it up as much as possible. Everything else is the same, it's just the holes are a little bit different. But I just wanted to show you. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to try. Take your little thing here. Should I start from the top? I'll start from the top. Start from the top, putting it in the hole. And so we may have to go ahead and try to connect the holes up properly with the circles. That's why I'm doing it like this. But yeah, you just if you have the correct book, and again, I'm just trying to show you how it goes. You just twirl it back in until you get all the way down. But this is how it should look once you print it out. I'm not going to even try to force it on. Okay, so we have completed our pen gear booklet, and we are showing you the finished results here. But that is it. It is very, very easy to do. To my subscribers and newcomers, thank you so much for watching. To all the newcomers, if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting on? Click on that subscribe button, share it out, comment on the video, and then like the video. Until the next time, I'll see you on the next video.